up, everybody? Rise and shine. It is another fine Saturday morning. We've got quite the lineup of interesting news stories this week to help kickstart your weekend. Starting with Sony's recent financial call. As expected, they missed their sales target for consoles, but don't worry, their software sales are chugging along nicely. They've decided to re-examine their approach to live games, thank goodness, while rededicating themselves to single-player projects, which are their bread and butter. And let's not forget, Sony still has time and a fair bit of gamer goodwill to get back on track. Next, let's talk about the rumored Xbox Handheld, which was softly confirmed by Phil Spencer himself. Although we might be waiting years for it to hit the market, the prospect looks promising. An Xbox Handheld could lower manufacturing costs and promote the Play Anywhere motto, making gaming more portable and accessible. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, the Vice article arguing that games journalism is still essential. However, we have a different perspective. With the rise of reviews and content creators who resonate more closely with our interests, traditional games media seems to be losing touch with what gamers really want. These new voices are creating content that feels like it's written by gamers for gamers. Meanwhile, some journalists appear to be reviewing games with developers in mind rather than the gaming community. Outlets like The Verge played a crucial role during the Microsoft vs. FTC battle, and other media predicted the Xbox handheld months before Phil Spencer's recent soft official announcement. While traditional journalism had its moments, the shift towards content creators is undeniable. They are the future of games media. But that's what we've got for today, with a whole lot sprinkled throughout, and I'm joined by the brightest minds on YouTube and our first special guest. Welcome to the Casual Consumer live stream.
Sorry. Can't do that.
Right on.
Showed a game face, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Put your game
Good
faces
morning,
on.
YouTube.
Right on.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes. In Torch, we've got our first special guest. We've got Torch in the house. He is prominent on X, and Torch, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. Yay. So do you have any other platforms that you put content on, or is X the only one?
X is the main one, but I do have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's brand new, to be honest.
Okay.
But I keep on. What I'm trying to do with that channel is to upload gameplay videos along with commentary on the latest headlines.
Okay.
Make sure to check it out. It's George Torch Games,
Mm-hmm.
and my handle over at X is Tinkerer George.
Okay. And we will definitely get all of that stuff in the description, and make sure if whoever wants to find you can enjoy your content. Same thing goes for everyone on panel. We've got Ken back in the house.
Hello, friends.
Yeah. The Roroni homie.
That's right.
We've got.
You've been spreading the gamer music all around the world, huh?
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of music. Yeah, It's been really exciting. So, but happy to be back.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Right on. Yeah, we're gonna get into some spicy topics. So, and I'm not just talking about the Vice article either. It's a one more in there that we'll get to it. Nas, the retro indie boss. We've got Gamer Geek. Leon Kennedy makes her week. Got it this time. And then we've got Scotty Boozy, the SB from GB.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
All right.
What's going on, guys?
Scotty.
So I wanted to start out with a funny video today. And also, so we've got, I don't know how many tabs I've got open right now. So we're going to have to kind of just bum. I know you guys can do this, but we will stop and get your guys' reaction to all of these. One thing I didn't.
We'll try not to go on too many horrible tangents.
Oh, it's fine.
No promises.
No.
I'm gonna rein it in.
I promise nothing, but that's why Ken is here to keep me on track.
Rein it in.
You're relying on Ken to keep you on track. That's a terrible idea.
No, it's not.
What's your problem, man?
Move along, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
What's your problem, man? Okay, that's hilarious. I love that.
Come at me, bro.
Right on. So out of all the stuff, I forgot to set this thing up. So, I have a question for Torch. You told us backstage that you're, a really good way to kind of become prominent on X. Do you mind sharing that secret, or is it a secret?
Oh, sure, absolutely. No, and more than
Sorry.
glad to share it with you guys.
You're
I
awesome.
mean, you invited me. I feel honored to be here.
Oh,
It's
honor's
such an
all
amazing
ours.
opportunity and meeting you guys, having a great conversation.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely. It's mandatory for me to share with you that secret. So the way that it goes, it's Onyx. If you want to grow your account, we need more gaming accounts on the scene. I mean, that's a fact. It doesn't matter that gaming accounts have been there for some time now.
Mhm.
I think there's more than enough room right now, and especially with all the changes and updates that Elon has done,
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of opportunity over there for gaming accounts to grow, particularly small accounts. So if you are listening to this and you want to grow your presence on X, you have this itch to create and have a gaming presence on a social platform, X is the one. And the way that you do it, it's I highly recommend you to get X Premium. Um, Once you subscribe to X Premium, you will get this famous now
Oh,
blue check mark.
geez.
And what it'll do to your replies is every single reply. So, for example, there's a post, you reply to that post, your replies will get a significant boost. They will be incredibly boosted by the algorithm. So, a lot of people will be seeing your reply. And if you, for example, provide an interesting and insightful comment,
Mhm.
it will be a comment that will attract more people, and that is the way that you get conversations started, and that is the way that
Mm.
you will get followers, and then those followers will become friends. So that's a great strategy to grow your account. And before I wrap this up, just want to mention that many people are focused on creating content and they get really anxious about it.
Mhm.
Oh, I should be creating videos and I should be creating memes
Mhm.
and I should be creating long form posts. All of that is important when you're a small account.
Mhm.
But really, the secret to all of this, if you really want to grow fast, get verified and be the reply guy.
Mhm. Okay,
Reply
that's
guy.
perfect.
I like that.
It pretty much
Absolutely.
gives
Yeah, I like that.
gives you a
Yeah, yeah.
megaphone for everything that you're doing.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you
Alright,
so
cool.
much for that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna see if this works. You know, it might not, but if not, we'll just go to the share one. That's absolutely amazing. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious.
Bonk.
It's
It
like
was
Death Stranding gone wrong.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
This is why I stick with single player games.
yeah. They're amazing.
Can't trust people.
This is
whatever. I
amazing,
know
though.
never to play a 2-player game with my son because he's like, "Let me teach you Minecraft. Hey, come here. I want to show you something." Bam, you're dead.
Oh yeah.
Like, and then he'd be like, "No, I won't do it. It's okay. Come here." And then he'll like trick me, and then he'll be like, "Bam, you're dead."
I remember
Well, I
doing
gotta
that as a
ask then,
kid.
Gigi. Were you the type of parent who's like, I'm not gonna go easy on my kids. If they want to beat me, they gotta get good.
Get good.
Because this could be his revenge.
No. I was very nice. He was always actually really good and
right
like
on.
caught on very quickly. So I would actually just be that vengeful parent that was like, "How dare you beat me?"
Yeah, I
Um,
took a different approach. My kids, I mean, I think I was playing rock and roll racing one day and they're like, oh, I want to play. I'm like, okay, sure. Give them a controller, give them the basic idea of the controls.
Mhm.
And then they're like, why are you always beating me? Because I'm better than you. You want to beat me? You got to get good.
That's
And
great.
for a while, my youngest was like,
than you.
but daddy, I don't want to shoot you. I'm like, shut up about that. Just shoot me. If you
Shoot
see
me.
me in front of you, just shoot me.
Oh
I don't
my
care.
god.
What's that guy
And now-
from Borderlands who's like, shoot me in the face, shoot me.
Now
miss-
they're
Face
ruthless.
Right,
McShooty or
right.
something like that. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Shooty. What's his name? I know who you're talking about. Like
Yeah.
Shooty McPace or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Shooting McFace.
Great.
Back when Borderlands was funny.
So
Yes.
so my daughter is a social worker,
Mhm.
and her internship, because she wants to focus on children, and so she decided that she was going to take a game one day, and they were going to play video games. I was like, man, awesome, that's great.
Mhm.
And then she comes home and she's just like telling me these stories, and she's like, we don't, I'm not going to go easy on them. If they want to win, they got to earn it. And I was just like, my God.
I've created a monster.
Yes. And I was like, I did not teach you that.
Yeah.
But her and I have been banned from ever playing with each other again. So
Yeah, too many feelings. Too many feelings.
It brings out the worst in some people.
It does.
her and I are super competitive.
So we're gonna get into our first article. Rapid fire. Sorry.
All right.
This one, I thought this was cool because I am a huge Sonic fan, and Shadow, I thought he was a great addition to the games. Now he's added to the movies, which is great. But this rumor says that at the end of the third movie with Sonic or Shadow, they're going to tease another character, and maybe it, if it does well enough, they'll do a spinoff. I'm assuming kind of like the Knuckles show they did, but they might get their own movie. Who knows?
I enjoyed that show, actually.
I didn't watch it just because. Okay, so I wanted Knuckles to be the guy that defeated Chaos, and I thought they were gonna take that angle because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't. So I was like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested to see him train the deputy in their little small town. Not interested.
It got a little bit soft. It started right, but then it seemed a bit.
It started hardcore. It was soft, but it was still hilarious.
Oh,
Right
that's
on.
disappointing.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah,
so-
but what?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, folks. Just want to say on this quickly.
Mhm.
What annoys me is,
Mhm.
and this is the problem with the internet, I guess. Why not wait for us to see the movie
Mhm.
to know that there's a character? Don't let us know there's going to be another character. It just ruins the suspense.
So what it
Sometimes
does,
I think
it builds that anticipation, because
Yeah.
they're want you to speculate on what character, your favorite character to put in next. It's like, oh, so whenever they announce Shadow, oh dude, I was locked in.
That bothers me.
I'm sorry.
And no. It bothers me
dirty
because it's
casual.
like, is this happening organically? Like, does the
Maybe.
story go to the point where, we need to introduce this character because it's necessary for the story, or is it
Right.
we need to introduce this character because we want merchandising? Like,
There's probably a little
Probably
bit of column
both.
A and column B.
But maybe they're teasing it so that people will speculate, and they'll be like, okay, this is the most popular one, so that's the one we're gonna put in.
Mhm.
generate a buzz. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you're right.
Yeah. They had all three movies planned out. I want to say, like right when they released the first movie, there's like, we have 2 more movies planned and a spinoff for Knuckles. So that was already in the works. So I'm assuming they had a through line through all these movies, hopefully anyway.
Yeah.
But this one,
I'm just glad Jim Carrey's gonna come back. 'Cause that
me
would've-
too.
That would have
Yeah.
sucked.
Oh my
And
gosh.
speaking of Jim Carrey, I wanna send out condolences because his sister just passed away.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't
so
know that. I didn't see that
condolences to
anywhere.
Oh, condolences,
Mr. Jim Carrey, yeah.
Yeah. Right
Mm.
on.
I really don't know
I
anything
saw
about
it
that
last
guy
night, and
personally.
it was just it broke my heart because I couldn't imagine losing one of my siblings. So.
Yeah. 100%.
yeah.
We're still like very, very young. And what's Jim
Mm.
Carrey? He's up in his. He's in his 60s
he's
now.
I think he's in his 60s.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be in 70. I'm not gonna Google that, but I assume.
That's still really young to lose a sibling, though.
What,
Yeah.
60s?
Yeah.
How was it? An older sister?
I'm not sure.
Okay, right on. I'm gonna read through this real quick, and then I'll get your guys' opinion on it, and then we'll move right on. Renowned movie and show leaker Daniel RPK is back with another Sonic the Hedgehog themed rumor, and it concerns the third Sonic Hedgehog movie. He claims that he has heard that if the movie performs well at theaters and streaming, then the team will most likely ditch the idea of a proposed Shadow the Hedgehog spinoff TV show and instead focus on the Shadow the movie. Goodness. He also went on to say that Sega also had big plans for Silver the Hedgehog, so we will have to see what becomes of that. Maybe that
Who's
is
Silver?
Silver. Yeah.
He's I believe Silver's from the future.
right on.
I think if memory serves me
man.
correctly. So that just sounds like another
Leia.
what do you call it? Was it Was it time zone? Not time zone. What's it called? Multi-universe, multiverse.
Yes, yes.
Multiverse,
A
yes.
Sonic cinematic universe is what they're aiming for.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's my big problem with everything. Everything needs a sequel. Everything needs
No.
a freaking universe. And that's what they're going for with this. You see?
Well, you can thank Marvel for that.
Yeah,
And
100%.
according to Deadpool, Marvel Jesus.
Hmm.
I watched the third one last night. He said he's Marvel Jesus. It had me dying.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's on Disney now, isn't it?
yeah. But I mean, that's the first
Yeah.
like movie attached to Marvel that's made like $1 billion in a while. It feels
Yeah.
like, So, I mean,
So I'm not the only one then. When I hear the word cinematic universe, my eyes roll a little bit. Right? It's
No,
not-
yeah,
Definitely not.
we're in alignment there.
I'm a dirty little hypocrite. As long as it's aligned with something that I like, then I love the cinematic universe. Like Sonic, I'm so looking forward to
I
it.
am so jaded as a Kingdom Hearts fan that
Mhm.
any kind of like time travel multiverse, I'm like, ugh,
Yes.
no, you're gonna ruin it.
Oh God.
That story is absolutely
Kingdom
ridiculous,
Hearts
though.
is amazing, though.
Oh my gosh.
Did I play 13 Kingdom Hearts games? Don't worry about it. Do I regret it? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You want to know what's so funny? Like when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts franchise, I played 1, 2, and I'm working on 3 right now. But after going into the third one, I watched the trailers and stuff for it, and I was like, "Who's this Aqua character? Who's this?"
Oh yeah, you've only played the main title game.
Yes.
Okay, we should talk later.
Okay.
I feel like that could probably be a whole stream between the two of you.
You don't need all the games. You just need some of them.
Right on.
But there's one you need.
Yeah.
It should have stopped at 2. I have a
Mhm.
little thing. 358/2, Chain of Memories 2. End it. Amazing. You've done it.
Right
4
on.
games. I played 13 Kingdom Hearts games. Too many games.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Before we totally get off tangent, as
Yes.
we know, obviously by now, Sony girl.
Mhm.
That's all I had. I've played Sonic at like my childhood McDonald's. When we would go for breakfast, there would be a console. That's my only experience with Sonic.
Mhm.
I've heard these movies are good.
Mhm.
Are they actually?
They're pretty good. I mean, for
Yeah,
you
they're good.
lore wise, there's not a whole lot there with Sonic. You can kind of take him in any direction. Just like Eggman bad, Sonic, or Sonic, Knuckles, and then I want to say Amy, good guys, and they try to stop his diabolical plans. You can kind of throw that anywhere, really.
I'm in the same boat with you, Ken. I was a Nintendo kid. I
Yeah.
never played I think I played Sonic at like a mall
Okay.
once. I don't know why. They were just like showing off Sonic
Exactly.
the Hedgehog games, and I played it there, and I was like, oh, this is fun. This looks
They were competing with Nintendo.
Green Hill Zone. I really like this song. This is
Mm-hmm.
really
Oh
me
yeah.
going, and then I had to go.
Legendary.
I had to leave.
Classic.
That's hilarious. I'm so sorry. But
Oh,
yes,
I played Sonic and Echo the Dolphin, I think.
Oh, that
Oh, I
was pretty
remember
good.
Echo the
Yeah.
Dolphin.
Yeah.
Oh my, look at
Legendary.
us, showing our
Forgot about
ages. I
that for
love
a
it.
second.
How's it feel to be so old? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it
let's-
feels great.
Yeah,
Feels great.
I'm right there along with you though. NES. Oh, I was there for that. I was there for that. It was great.
Don't think of it as being old. Think of it as existing during the prime of gaming.
That's
We
right.
lived in the
That's
best
right.
of times.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
prime of gaming.
The
Yes.
prime of
Truly a
gaming.
little-
Not this pedestrian nonsense.
Okay, all right. Moving on. Okay, so so the creator Konami, I'm just gonna say Konami. They're all involved in this, but he came out and said that the reason why he's doing these remakes is because there's more to come apparently, but the reason he's doing it is because he doesn't want younger gamers to not experience these older titles. And I press X for doubt. I think it's solely for money, and the younger generations being able to experience these games is just a happy byproduct, right?
Those two aren't mutually exclusive, though.
They're not.
I mean, you want people to experience them now so they can give you money.
Mm-hmm. But it's not like these games don't exist. They can kind of just re-release them, and then but it's so, and to me, but I'm glad for the the opinion.
Mhm.
However, I will read this real quick, and then we'll discuss. For Okamura, MGS Delta isn't only about allowing older players to experience a sense of nostalgia, but to ensure that the legacy of the series continues to impact future games. It was basically, quote, it was basically our mission, our duty, to kind of continue making sure that the series lives on for future generations, he explains. After all, we leave behind much more than just DNA, as Solid Snake would say. But again, who is Solid Snake? That's true, he did say that. I want to say it was Metal Gear Solid 2 he said that, but I could be wrong. But so I guess it doesn't feel nefarious, but it just feels like he's like that corporate speak. It's for the younger generation. We didn't even think about the money. It's like, I kind of feel like you did.
We're doing it for you.
Yes.
It's all for you.
Yes.
Well, he's probably right, thinking about, we want the younger generation to experience it, but we all know that all of it is driven by money. And, I mean, they're not going to make something if they don't think that they're going to be successful.
100% true, yeah.
And something that I would like to add to all of this is, and going back a little bit, I think it was Nuss who said that he played Genesis, Sonic on the Genesis, as well as Echo the Dolphin. I think we were fortunate, or we are fortunate we grew up with the NES and the SNES. We're getting older, we're getting wiser. And I like to compare what happens to gaming to what happened to music. So, for example, if you take the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, you would, a decade ago, you could go to a concert, a Beatles concert or a Rolling Stone concert, and there would be the grandparent, the dad, and the young kid, 3 generations listening to the same music, going to the same concert, and enjoying the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. So that means there's a generational aspect to it. And I think that gaming now, I used to say, it's a little bit unfair because my dad grew up during this generation with Pink Floyd and Rolling Stones and the Beatles, and I didn't have any of that. But it's different. But now I had gaming, and I know that gaming also has that generational aspect. So, for example, right now, Konami's, the way that this article sounds is like Konami's worried about the younger generations not playing Metal Gear. But here's the thing about it. I'm pretty sure that every serious gamer who is a parent will make sure, 100% sure, that his kids or her kids will be playing the Metal Gear franchise. Again, because of the generational aspect of it.
Yeah, any games that are that significant to them. Like I've got my youngsters playing Chrono Trigger because I wanted them to play Chrono Trigger because it's an awesome game, and I wanted them to actually experience a game that they can finish.
Yeah,
that's parenting done right.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Round of applause. Yes.
Yeah, because even
point.
Super Mario World on the SNES was one of my favorites, and even my son has played that with me. We've all played older games and everything. I still have my original Xbox and some older games and stuff like that. We had an N64 for a while, and he would play that. I love gaming, and that's one of my passions, and I wanted to share it with my children, and all of them love to game. So it's fun.
Yeah.
To what George was saying, there is the generational quality to it, where if it's something that was important to you, you want to share it with previous generations. And so in that respect, I'm fine with Konami doing this,
right,
as long as they're doing it right, as long as they're doing it in such a way that you're continuing the quality of the product that existed before all the way down now, and you're not just using it as an excuse to squeeze as much money out of people as you can for the nostalgia bucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to make a product that is as good and complete and bug-free as those previous games, fine, keep doing it. I'm all right with the nostalgia as long as the product is good.
Yeah.
Yep, it has to be authentic. Absolutely. Something that I've been really, I do have strong opinions on, it's the fact that we gamers, we are not mere consumers.
Right.
Gamers are smart, are incredibly smart. We are actually customers.
Yes.
So we always, our spider sense when it comes to properties and franchises that are not being handled properly by Western AAA gaming companies, we can immediately tell when something's off, when something is not working right. So yeah, I 100% agree. It has to feel authentic.
Yes.
I'd like to agree with that. I can't completely, because I think that there's a certain subset of the gaming population that wants to be more charitable with the games that are coming out. They want them to be better than they actually are, because they don't want to acknowledge that, this sucks.
I think that time's over though. We've with all the games that have been failing, that it's a push in the right direction. I think people are starting to understand. Well, go for it. Sorry.
I'll believe it's over if people stop supporting EA Sports franchises.
That's
if
not
people
going to
stop playing like.
Part of that agree there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's in the game.
Madden means, so what's really funny is like certain people have their games that they will always buy, no matter if they do a series of, up until 2030 or 2130, right? Madden is one of those. FIFA, I think it's something else now.
Yeah.
That's one of those. However, we can make sure that the other ones, the ones that mean the most to us, do well. So if, let's say, Konami screws up this remake, it's within our power to completely bury that. It's in our power to completely bury Konami. I'm not saying do it. Well, I mean, do it if the remake sucks, but
you have to give gamers an alternative, a viable alternative,
right.
Which is why EA is still so successful with their sports franchises, because there isn't really a viable alternative. Like, can you find an indie game that's as complete as like a Madden, an NHL 25,
right.
an NBA game? Like, well, NBA game, I did see one that's coming up that actually looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's the Axis of American football, whatever, that's like an NFL alternative. It's not perfect. You can't throw a pass without getting an interception, which drives me bananas.
Oh yeah.
But there needs to be more of that in the indie game sports realm.
Yeah, 100%.
But you've got people that still play like NHL 94.
Yeah.
And they play together through net play. And there's leagues around the whole thing. People have an NHL 94 league, which I think is awesome.
Right on.
So even if you've got to do something like that to jury rig an alternative to get people off of that, the EA. I was going to use a drug reference, but I probably shouldn't. But if you want to get them off of that, you need to have an alternative.
Yes, 100%. Right on. Was he in a?
Also,
sorry, Ken.
Sorry to go back to the consumer kind of casting judgment. Like, if the remake's bad, we gotta let them know. Look at the Pokemon games, the last generation of Pokemon games. Broken to all hell. Super high selling. I don't think we're at the point where we can trust the consumer to be like, oh, it's a bad game, I'm not going to get it.
Right.
Especially with EA, all its like big franchises and names, we're going to be like, oh, they only added 2 more players in the next FIFA, I'm not going to get it. There's a whole culture around those kinds of games, so I think we're being idealistic in our thought process.
Right on.
I don't know if it's idealism.
Something just real quick to add to that, and I really appreciate those comments, because that actually made me think about my original statement. I think there are 2 ways to see this. We have the niche gamer, in the sense that someone who's loyal to a particular franchise, and that franchise may not be the most popular one. So, for example, we're talking about the EA Sports franchises. We're talking about Pokemon. These are huge. They are cultural powerhouses.
Yes.
So, there has to be that distinction of what type of gamer consumes what. And I 100% with what you have been saying about many gamers still don't have that will sort of saying to not give into these predatory practices or these terrible games that triple game companies still publish.
Predatory practices, I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For big franchises like Pokemon and the EA Sports franchises, there's still a lot of goodwill that needs to be burnt through before people say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done with paying $80 for a roster update.
100%, yeah. And then they'll look like
Eventually,
Ubisoft or Embracer Group.
I'm gonna start
think-
on the bracer today.
Oh yeah.
I think with Konami though,
Mhm.
obviously the answer might be money anyway, but I think it's probably to stay relevant because obviously it's been so long since the Metal Gear Solid games come out.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So the new generation probably won't know what Metal Gear Solid is. So from them, it's just relevance. Let's be relevant again.
Yeah.
So let's target a new audience, a new fan base.
Yeah.
Because if that creates demand, then they may make more remakes or they may make a new Metal Gear Solid game. But
Yeah.
I think, it's definitely a tactic to stay relevant.
Oh yeah, I
going
think
forward.
with this remake, nostalgia alone will get them over the finish line for sure. I hate to say this again, I'm a dirty little hypocrite, but Metal Gear Solid Delta, that's a day one for me. I'm so sorry.
I'm with you, man.
Oh, it's a day one for me too.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
Everyone's got their like franchises
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I've played every horrendous Kingdom Hearts game. I will buy every Final Fantasy game, even if they hurt me. Like
guys are part of
everyone's
the
gonna have
problem.
exactly. That's why I'm saying, with myself as the example,
Yeah.
I don't trust the consumer because I don't trust me.
Oh my goodness, Ken, that's profound. Seriously, holy crap! All right.
We all just admitted to it.
Yeah.
We
did.
all just admitted we
did.
did it.
No,
It's
see,
true.
I take a different approach because of that. Because I don't really trust what I'm seeing from
My taste.
whoever. I
Michael.
wait. No. I wait.
There's
I am
always
totally
one.
fine with waiting
Yeah, and
because I've got a huge ass backlog of games I could play. I
Yeah,
can
that's
wait
true.
for these things to simmer a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, let the bugs get worked out and see what people I trust say about the game before I get
100%.
involved.
Yeah.
FOMO doesn't affect me.
right. FOMO, it's not FOMO. I don't know if it's FOMO for the Metal Gear Solid series. It's just it looks absolutely gorgeous. I guess I'm just getting hyped up from the trailers. Like no one has to tell me that
That's the
you
thing,
can't
though.
miss out on this Metal Gear Solid game. I'm like I'm out there saying you can't miss out on this
The
Metal
point
Gear
of the
Solid.
trailers though is to get that hype. So
Yeah.
it's doing its job.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But how many times have you watched a trailer for a movie, then you go watch the movie, and the movie's dog crap,
100%.
right?
Or it's just the
character
trailer.
that's
All the-
featured in the trailer
Yep.
is in it for 2 seconds and then they die.
Yes.
Or the person, because a lot of times the people making the trailer don't have any connection to the movie itself. They're just given the footage and say, make something exciting with this.
Yeah.
I never saw it like that, That's so true.
So I mean, I don't buy trailers personally.
Yeah.
For some things, yes, not for movies for sure,
Right on.
and
right
not
on.
for AAA games for sure.
Right on.
I feel like the best things in the previews that we go to see are never in the movie, and then you're like, where was it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I had that a few times.
Yeah, the scene got cut.
Mhm.
or
Yes.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Let's move on to our next one. We spent a lot of time on that. That was really good though. But this one, we're talking about Nintendo going after Pocket Pair. And not because they copied all of their characters or anything like that. They apparently that wasn't enough for them to, sue them into oblivion. The reasons are so damn petty, and I think that one of these patents was filed right when Pal World went live. So it was kind of like a strategic thing. So let's get into what these apparently there's 3 patents that they are suing about, and I really want to get your guys' opinion on this one. This is Windows Central. This is being pinned by Jennifer Young. Love Windows Central because we have it like right in front of us right here. Pocket Bear, the developers of Power World, are being sued by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company for patent infringement. Since the lawsuit was filed in September, Pocket Bear stated that they were not aware of what they were being sued for, and many speculated if it was the throw and catch mechanic. And that was correctly speculated. Today, Pocket Pair have confirmed the 3 patents Nintendo are trying to protect, and they were filed after the game's launch on January 19th, 2024. Nintendo is seeking 5 million yen plus late payment damages to both them and the Pokemon Company for these infringements. The 3 patents are the creature capture mechanic, creature combat and movement mechanic, and the dynamic mounting system. Now, my thing about this is I feel like they should fight this because this sets a really bad precedent for anyone who would make a game that's similar to Pokemon. But I know it's paying this for $66,000 versus spending millions upon millions of dollars trying to fight Nintendo in court. So to me, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I feel like they should fight it, but understand if they don't. You know what I mean? The precedent is going to be awful though that this creates.
Well, my question is, they're suing over some of the mechanics, and it's just like, like we were talking about my son and I last week. Like I was doing something in Horizon Zero Dawn, and he was like, "You can thank Assassin's Creed for that, because without Assassin's Creed, this wouldn't exist." And I said, "Well, everything builds upon other games,
Exactly.
and other like with the Matrix, everybody did the slowdown,
Yes.
you know, and all that."
Yes.
So it's like if Nintendo sues and wins for mechanic, I feel like it's gonna hurt gaming.
Yes.
Because we're not gonna be able to borrow things from each other, and
Right.
I feel like they're going after that because they feel like they might win.
Yeah.
Versus you know, Power World looks a lot like it's a Pokemon game, only, you know,
That's fair.
really, really awesome.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, what falls under fair use
Right.
as far as art goes.
Mhm.
You know,
And I think it's different
yeah.
enough, in my opinion. I think so.
I feel like it's different enough.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, you know, you've got the fair use and it's not carbon copied. You know, like they didn't trace it, even if they got inspiration from it.
Right.
And so there you've got the, you know, they fall under fair use. And so now Nintendo's like, well, let me sue you for this, this, and this. And I feel like that's going to set an ungodly precedent of gaming suing gaming, and
Right.
it's just not good. Like, where does the line
Yeah.
get drawn? You know, because
Yeah.
then, you know,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I think Columbia Pictures should sue Nintendo, honestly, because the whole Ghost Trap thing from Ghostbusters.
There you go.
yeah,
Right.
that's
A
true.
lot like a
LOL.
Pokeball.
Jeez.
That was in 1984.
Yeah. Good job,
That's true.
Nintendo.
It's down to
I'm
inspiration,
joking,
isn't
I
it?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I don't know of Pocket Pair, but I think, Power World, but I think we've discussed this before. So they may have taken Pokemon as an inspiration, because Pokemon
They
was a
definitely
massive,
did.
and yeah, I mean, just a little
It's
bit.
a ripoff. We're
I
gonna
mean,
say
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I
It's
mean-
like the adult version ripoff.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon are a massive franchise, right? They've been going on for years.
Yes.
There's always going to be inspiration for something. Like, I imagine Sonic probably got inspiration from Mario somewhat. Sony
Yeah.
probably saw Crash Bandicoot as a Sonic. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, there's always something. There's always a knock-on effect.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, depending what they're suing them for. So if Power World have taken exact names or something, or similar names, I guess, maybe. But what have they taken what are Nintendo suing them for exactly? Does it say?
It's just mechanics. So, creature capture
But how
mechanic.
they look. So how they look.
No, none dealing with how similar they are to Pokemon. It's the capture mechanic, creature combat and movement mechanic, and the dynamic mounting system. So you mounting a monster, they want to sue you for that.
This worries me.
Yeah.
This is the part that worries me. Think of like I instantly went to, and I haven't even played this game, like Yokai Watch. You
Yeah.
catch things. You know, in Persona, you use your personas, and you can you collect those. Like that's just a very broad. Do I think Pal World totally ripped off Pokemon? Absolutely. Do I think they kind of have a right to sue? Absolutely, but more based on concept and not these like
And design.
like these are specific things that if they win, what's gonna, you know,
Yeah.
then
How's it going to shape? Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
and
a
how
couple
does
of things
that
are-
work retroactively to all the games that have used it before?
Right. Oh
Yeah,
god. I
because
didn't know they would do
just
that.
seeing a preview on the last State of Play, I was like, is this Pokemon? They look that much alike. So
Yeah.
I can see that. That I can see. They're not
Sorry.
exact carbon copies, but they are so close that it is a problem.
Yeah.
Someone did
in
some
my
side by sides, and they're eerily similar.
Yes.
Yeah,
But,
and so I can see that. But what they're suing for now, since they didn't get them shut down on the look
Right.
of the creatures, like this is just going to set a very dangerous precedent,
Yeah.
and I think it will very much harm gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of things over there. It's like if back in 2006, 2007, Microsoft, or in this case in particular, Epic Games, would have sued Naughty Dog for a cover mechanic, for Gears of War's cover mechanic.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. Now, the other thing that I always found fishy about this whole the Pokemon Company Pocket Pair lawsuit, this whole thing that's going on, It's, and correct me if I'm wrong, apparently former developers or developers who used to work for in the Pokemon franchise, they were hired by Pocket Pair or actually started Pocket Pair. Is that right? So there's something behind the scenes that feels really fishy, and it's almost borderline corporate espionage even. I don't know how Nintendo, what's going on behind the scenes, but apparently that's the case. I mean, there were people who were involved in the Pokemon franchise who are now involved with Power World. I read that somewhere. Again, don't have any evidence, but I don't know if you guys know anything about that.
I'm looking it up right now.
But to be honest with you, Torch, I don't know about that scenario, but there are scenarios like that. So, has anyone heard of FIFA? I'm sure you've heard of FIFA. So there's Pro Evolution as well. So it was a rival game to FIFA. So years ago, what would happen is FIFA would take Pro Evolution's developers and have them start developing on FIFA games. And maybe it's taken a little bit of ideas from one game and embedding it into another. So if this is true, this particular scenario, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, based on the comparisons we're seeing here, could be similar.
Wow.
Yeah. You would think that game, I mean, as much as it would suck, you would think that games would be more like, so for example, my ex's dad was a programmer and got laid off of his job, and then he had a 1-year non-compete, so he couldn't work for any other tech company for a year.
Right on.
And you know, like when you're the sole income provider and you've got 7 children, that's a problem. You know what I mean? But you would think that there would be some sort of like NDAs and non-competes that devs would be signing, so that things like that didn't happen. But again, things get crazy in the world, so I don't know.
Yeah. I can't find anything to corroborate that, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some devs that worked over at Pocket Pair from Pokemon.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just look at it.
Yeah. Sure is it.
Or even one like, so, you know, like you could have a dev friend that worked for the Pokemon company, and they were like kind of like your mentor, and then you take that with you.
Or just take heavy inspiration from it because you loved the game growing up.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. And so this is good news for Power World, for Pocket Pair. After getting hit with this lawsuit, they still went ahead and released it in Japan, and apparently it hit #1 on the charts in Japan. Wow. So everyone in Japan was basically,
love that.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's one of the reasons why they went ahead. I don't know what the heck's going on with this video. What's happening here? Anyway, sorry.
Oh, the bottom right. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay.
I looked it up, and there are no Pokemon developers at Power World.
Right on. Okay. Right on. So despite the current lawsuit leveled at Pocket Pair by Nintendo and Game Freak, Power World is still scoring points with gamers. The game recently topped the PS5 charts in Japan, beating out homegrown favorites.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean,
So it must be fun and good. I haven't played it.
Well, would Nintendo have this same energy if Power World wasn't performing well? That's
who knows.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're notoriously trigger happy when it comes to lawsuits. So
I mean, they sued like a regular dude for so much money. He went to jail forever, and he owes millions for like selling, you know, like I guess they were like the cartridges that you can get emulators on for like Switch or something, or 3DS, something like that. So I mean, they will sue anyone.
Yes.
Like this man will die before he pays all that money back, but Nintendo was like example.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They're suing a creator that just said that he can play any pirated emulator or whatever he wants anytime he wants, and so now they're suing him.
Oof.
Oh, is that our mate in court?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We need to find out what's going on in that court case.
Yes, I doubt that. Yes, we need to circle back to that.
Maybe not today, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Let's move on real quick. Okay, so this one we're talking about Sony ditching the live service, right? Which is good. I think this is a good thing. They need to refocus themselves on what made them the top platform for console gaming, right? So this one's coming from Metro. This is being pinned
Oh,
by
Metro
yeah
from the UK. Oh, okay.
If you
Scotty!
want to read this one, Scott,
I know, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. The pressure's on. No.
it's an English article. It needs an English voice.
Right on. This one's a little.
This is your show, Fox.
Stop it. This was a little lengthier, but at the top they were talking about how WB they also got sucked into this live service black hole and they lost tons of money, and so they are re-situating themselves to go for single player games. Also,
I got a problem with that. They didn't get sucked in. They made the decision to do this. They made the stupid ass decision to try and get into a saturated market with a piss poor product.
it's like FOMO for companies.
Get him,
Exactly.
Ross.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's exactly what it is. It
it's like they see a
doesn't just affect
trend.
gamers.
Right. Yeah. They see a trend and they want to hop on it and collect whatever crumbs they can from its popularity, and it blew up in their face. As
Nas,
it
can you
should.
do me a favor?
Hmm.
Nas, please don't change. Stay as you are, please. Don't
Yes.
change.
I
Never
wasn't
change,
sure
mate.
on it.
Never
Good.
change.
Yeah, don't change, mate. Good one, Fox. I like that.
Thank you guys. You
I
guys are
think
so
Fox,
sweet.
you had a little bit of an Australian twang on that one.
Yeah. I went for the Australian because we don't have an Australian on stream.
Yeah,
right
sound like Kano from Mortal Kombat.
There we go.
We need
That's
more
a badge of
Commonwealth
honor right
countries
there.
in
I
here.
love that.
That
Yeah.
is a badge of honor. I love Mortal Kombat.
So I mean,
Likewise.
let's. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, so we'll read through this a little bit. I won't cover all of them because we already know a lot of that. Meanwhile, over at Sony, there's also a reticence to admit that the focus on live service games was a mistake, especially as it's still unclear whose idea it was. Previous PlayStation boss Jim Ryan or current co-CEO Herman Hulst. From what I hear, is Herman Hulst. At one point, Sony was going to release 12 internally developed live service games, that's all Jim Ryan, by 2026. Wow. But so far, they've only managed to launch one, Concord, the biggest flop in the company's history. Sony has never talked in public about where their plans are now, and as with Warner Bros., no exec wants to admit that they were wrong. But a quote from their latest earnings results seems to suggest a much more sensible approach. We intend to build on an optimum title portfolio during the current mid-range plan period. That combines single-player games, which are our strength and which have a higher predictability of becoming hits due to our proven IP, with live service games that pursue upside while taking on a certain amount of risk upon release, says Senior Vice President for Finance and IR, Sarahiko Hayakawa.
See, that
mouthful.
just screams, I am passionate about gaming. Talking about, oh, we want to make hits. No, make good games, let them become hits.
100%.
Exactly.
Yes. And then,
Yeah.
they do have I mean, they're learning. They're not dedicating so much time and manpower and effort to live service games, which I gotta count that as a win. I am a Sony stan.
Yeah.
I like Xbox too, don't get me wrong. Whenever Xbox comes out with their handheld, I am getting it. Okay.
You're
But-
only saying that because Scotty's here.
No.
Liar.
Gotta keep
I love
the friendship.
Even I want the Xbox handheld, and I'm not an Xboxer since the original. So.
I mean, even I'd be interested in. I'm probably going to be in the
I love
market for a
handhelds.
handheld at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But honestly, take a good long look, because this is the closest you're going to get to accountability from these companies.
Oh my gosh. Truer words have never been spoken, Nas. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Oh, what a shame, though. It is an absolute shame. But c'est la vie. C'est la vie. This one's coming from video games.
Could you scroll back? Oh, sorry. If you go to the article, to the previous one,
Mhm.
to the Metro one, there's one line that caught my attention, and I want to share something over there.
Okay.
Yeah, scroll down, and you were hovering over. Yeah, over there. That one. It's the third paragraph. It says, Sony has never talked in public about where their plans are now. That line over there.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
my guess is that Sony has no plans. They have nothing. Let me tell you why. I don't know if you guys saw this. It was about 3 days ago or 2 days ago. Sony released a new ad to promote the PlayStation brand. There were no games in it. And that ad actually plays like, or feels like a Coca-Cola ad or a MasterCard ad. It's a PlayStation ad with no games. It's just impressive. And even the feeling, I mean, the people are not even playing games. They are doing sports, walking around the city.
Mhm.
My take is that Sony has no clue about they don't have anything in the pipeline.
Mhm.
That's my take.
I
Yep.
think it's the same thing with them releasing their games on PC and requiring a PSN. It's just to funnel people to their ecosystem. They don't care whether you play on the console. What am I trying to say here?
Whether you're
they
playing on
don't-
PC or console. Yeah.
They don't care whether you play on the console, PC, whatever, as long as you're in front of their games and buy something. And I hate that just because it's not about the customer. It's about the company.
No. It is about the customer. It's about providing safety for the customer. That's what Hiroki Totoki said, right?
Yes.
Because we have to make sure that your data is safe with Sony because they have the long track record of ensuring that your data is kept in a vault that nobody can get to.
Yes.
And it can never be leaked.
Yeah, never. I think they had 3
Never
hackings
leaked.
this year. It's ridiculous. That's absolutely crazy. But yes, the
Yeah.
sarcasm.
I mean, I've
you're
always-
dripping with
I've
it,
always
Nas.
said-
You always get me though. Like, oh,
Dripping
it's
with
I'm sitting
sarcasm,
here like,
just like
oh yeah, go ahead, Nas,
dripping.
go ahead.
I
And
don't know what you're talking about.
dripping with sass.
But I think George is right. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't think maybe there's just different elements within Sony itself that just are not on the same page. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we need to develop this app to promote the brand. Well, what are we going to put in here to promote it? Well, we had to cancel all these plans because we had to cancel all these live service games. So the app team is still developing the app,
Oh,
but they got nothing to put in it. It could be as simple as that.
Right.
Go ahead, Scotty, go for it. Who is?
No, I was just gonna say, you know what guys think? What I think on this? It's always a red flag when there's no transparency.
Yes,
So when they say they have no plans and they don't tell us what the roadmap looks like, then it's always a red flag.
100%.
Mm.
It worked out in Xbox's favor because I thought for a long time that they were a rudderless company. I didn't think that they knew what they were doing. Turns out they had it all planned out. Phil Spencer over there,
There's that
Grand
shot.
Wizard.
There you go. There's that shot.
or
And I just want to say quick that I'm sad because my gaming foundation is with Sony,
Mhm.
and I think about why I became a gamer and how I got into video games, and it's through all their games, and they're doing crap like this.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And I'm just yeah, they had an ad with no games in it. Make games, make the games I know you can make that you have made. It's
Exactly.
ugh.
Mhm.
And then hearing you guys be yeah, they have no plan. I'm having a mental breakdown over here. Oh my god.
Ken,
Yeah.
I'm a big PlayStation girl too. I mean, I've got a throw blanket and a PS5 pillow, man.
Yeah.
So, I get disappointed with stuff like that. And then when I heard they were just oh yeah, you gotta have a PSN if you want to play this on PC.
Yeah,
I
that
was just
one-
you guys are jerks.
That one was brutal for me.
I'm loyal to
What are
good
you doing?
games. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was brutal.
I grew up a Nintendo kid. I'm loyal to good games now.
I grew up Nintendo
Dang.
too. I will always have a
That was
Nintendo.
clean. That was clean, Mr. Nas.
Anytime, any game, anywhere. Shout out to Nas.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah.
I mean, with the Switch,
Best of us.
Nintendo's the first one to deliver that with the Switch.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true.
I mean,
They're
they
hybrid.
have their handhelds,
Oh,
but
dude.
this is a true hybrid.
Yes.
You can go
Mhm.
anywhere. You don't need
Yeah.
to have the internet to play
Mhm.
games all the
Yeah.
time like you would with a Portal,
Yeah.
or a remote play. You've got your games, whether you're in the house, whether you want to switch from the living room to the bedroom, whether you want to, like me, I played my Switch all the way driving from Texas to Virginia when it would be my turn to chill instead of drive. You know what I mean?
But now
So-
with everything, now with literally everything being an Xbox, you
Yes.
can do that with Microsoft too.
Mhm.
Well, there
Yeah.
you
No,
go.
Yeah.
this actually okay. This is all of this is really interesting, and here's something that I would like to add. I don't remember Nintendo giving any of these or communicating any of these grandiose statements about we're going to go live service and we're going to be releasing major single player games every year.
Mhm.
I don't hear Nintendo doing any of that.
Mm-mm.
Those
No,
guys are
right.
effective. They go,
Yes.
they do a Nintendo Direct. Here's what
Mhm.
you're getting. These are the games. Some of them you will love, some of them not. That's fine. We have something for everyone. That's
Boom.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
They haven't.
100%. Yeah.
they
Yeah,
haven't
but in the
really
case of
changed how
Sony and
they do things.
Microsoft, this is an Xbox, and then you have Sony sometimes telling us that they will go live services, but guess what? We're not going there anymore. Now it's going to be single player. But 5 years ago, they said that single players were done. I mean,
yeah, I remember that.
that's the reason why
Yeah.
Nintendo's getting a lot of traction.
Oh yeah. How many they sold? Like almost. I think they're second on most consoles sold of all time. Is
Right.
the reason why? I mean, the proprietary, pick it, play it on the TV, and then take it to go. That's one thing. But like you said, they don't harp on this. Like it's like they stay in their lane very well, unless they're poking their head out to sue someone to oblivion. They're really good.
143 million Switches
Yeah.
sold
It's
as of
Wow.
August 2024. That's
absolutely nuts.
that's great.
Yeah, I wonder how
Great
much
for them,
the
I mean.
Switch 2. Yeah, well, yeah. I wonder if the Switch 2 will sell nearly as much, especially with everything, all the hardware being on a decline. I wonder.
It will sell. And if they resuscitate franchises such as F-Zero, for example, and
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Fox,
Mhm.
Switch 2 is going to be a no-brainer.
Okay,
In
right
terms
on.
of
It's interesting though because Nintendo's been working with consoles that have inferior hardware compared to Xbox and
Mhm.
PlayStation. I also feel like they have more room to grow with games with higher
Yeah.
graphical fidelity in their
moly.
upcoming consoles than Microsoft and Xbox do,
Mhm.
because you're already reaching those diminishing returns with those ones.
Yep.
Right? But Nintendo still has room.
That is a great
Yeah.
one, too.
Look at the Legend of Zelda games. Look at all the games that were ported to
Mhm.
Nintendo Switch that were,
Mortal Kombat 1.
Mortal Kombat 1 was the one I was thinking of, where it just looked like crap.
Yeah.
So
Mortal Kombat 11 looked good on the Switch. It was just like much darker and not as like crisp, I want to say, but it wasn't. There wasn't much of a difference. But man, when I saw
Right on.
Mortal Kombat 1, I was like, I would be angry. I would be angry.
Oh yeah. Right on. Okay, so we're moving on to this next article. This is coming from Video Games on Sci or SI. I'm not sure, but it's being penned by
Sports
Marco
Illustrated?
Waltz. Is it?
yeah,
Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. Shows you how much I, subscribe to Sports Illustrated. Is it?
does anybody subscribe to Sports Illustrated anymore? I forgot they were a
Right?
thing.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up offline. But yes. Okay, so we're going over PlayStation's earnings call. And I think I've got to correct the record. I said that they weren't selling their consoles, but I believe it was cited in this article that they have a decent console selling. It's added to their revenue. Anyway, Sony cited an increased revenue from PlayStation Plus and sales of third-party games as well as add-ons. This includes DLC and microtransactions like in-game currency and cosmetics as contributors to the growth, while hardware sales continue to decrease. Okay, maybe I was right about that. However, it mentioned an increase in the profitability of the sold hardware, which had a positive impact on the operating income. Sony predicts that the increased hardware profitability and sales of third-party games will make for a strong remainder of 2024, correcting its financial forecast upwards by 4%, despite income from first-party games being predicted to decrease due to the lack of new releases. Absolutely crazy. And I want to say they've got 65.6 million PS5 consoles out there. I've got a couple questions about that. Since the Pro's out, it's everywhere, and I read an article that scalpers are actually having to sell their PS5 Pros at a loss because
Oh,
they're
no.
because they're everywhere. I know, right?
Good for them.
Yay!
Oh, what a
Deserve
shame.
it.
But what do you guys think and ladies, the PS5 Pro will sell? How do you think it will do good numbers, or do you think that I think that they should have waited on this? They should have just skipped this because it
I
was
think
such a
that- yeah.
weird generation.
I
Anyway,
think they should have just skipped to the 6,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think it'll have decent sales because
Mhm.
everybody's like got that FOMO going
Mhm.
on, and then other people, there, there's a big wanting to have the best of the best,
yes,
and so
yep.
I think
Yeah.
that will occur. I bought another one the other day, and I did not buy the Pro because I refuse.
Right on
like,
out of
why?
principle.
You bought another PlayStation 5?
You got to catch them all.
Maybe.
Gotta catch them all. Oh, also, just a PSA: anyone who doesn't have a PlayStation 5 right now, the PS5 Slim is on a significant discount. I want to say it's looking at $380 right now.
Have a slim? I
Woo!
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
they
So,
do.
I
mean,
They do have the slim, and it's pretty.
If you're planning on making any big purchases right now, just wait till Black Friday.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
all
It is
Yeah.
for a limited time, obviously, but that we've not seen a drop like that. I mean, you're doing better than PS4 numbers at that point. So, if you're looking for a PS5, you don't have one yet, don't go for the, $800 Pro. Go for a smooth, clean,
I still can't justify buying one even at that price.
even at 3.
When
Yeah.
everything is coming out for PC, I
Mhm.
just can't
I'll
buy
give
a
you that.
PS5.
I'll give you
Well,
that,
for-
but at that
for the
price point,
price,
yeah, it's cheaper than the
like-
PS4 when it released.
I mean, but for the price of the Pro
Mhm.
versus what you get upgraded from the regular 5, it is not worth it.
I
Mhm.
don't think so.
Unless you've got like an 8K TV and
Exactly.
freaking supervision,
Yeah.
you're not really gonna
Well,
notice.
having an 8K TV is one thing, but how many games are going to be able to take advantage of that? None.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have a few
Yeah.
that are optimized for the PS5 Pro, but not nearly enough to make that a to to get it, So yeah.
So what would we deem a good unit? Well, a good number in terms of selling consoles. So if we look at how much PS5 sold, how many units did it sell?
65.6
do we know?
million.
So
yeah.
are we say will PS5 Pro exceed that number? Do we think?
I don't
I
think
think
I
so.
don't think
compare
it
it to what
No.
the PS4 Pro did compared to the PS4. I think that might be the
Mm.
you have to we have to figure out like what qualifies, like
Yeah.
what's a good comparison
Oh yeah.
is what I'm trying to say.
The PS5 Pro or PS4 Pro is sold like 14 or 15 million. So if it sells around that, you could obviously it'd be worth the for Sony to bring it out into the masses, the PS5 Pro. If they can get at least 15 million sold, I don't think they'll hit those numbers. I don't think they'll hit anywhere close to those numbers, but yeah, for
I
it to hit
agree
15
with
million.
that.
Mhm.
I agree. I don't think they'll hit those numbers, and I think that's why the president of the hardware side, the Hiroki Totoki, was saying that this is more of an enthusiast machine.
He did say that. This is
Yeah,
Love
they're
that.
they're saying that it's like on par with sales for the PS4 Pro, and that in Japan for the first week it sold 78,000 units.
okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it higher than?
Especially since like you couldn't just walk into a store and get a PlayStation until like a year and a half ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You had to like practically pull teeth, do 17 quests and 100 side quests just to get one of these things.
Yeah. Hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they should have just skipped to the.
Well, to be fair, they probably don't need to sell as many units as the PS5 anyway. Because I think the PS5 Pro is a higher price than what the PS5 was, right?
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
Oh,
$300.
It's like twice.
Yeah.
It's
so
twice the price.
So they don't
Stupid.
really need to sell as many as the PS5 did.
That's a
as
great
long
point,
as-
Scotty.
It's not a
Long
loss
as it-
leader either.
That
No.
is true. Good job, Scotty.
You could tell. You could tell. It's like $800. Jesus. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, this
I
is
know.
probably what it
I
costs.
got my
to
I got my
make.
data hat on, so I'm just thinking of numbers and metrics.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know. For me,
But-
I'm just like I could buy 2 PlayStations for $200 more than the
Mhm.
Pro, and then we could have one in
Yeah.
every room.
I'm just biding my time until the
Oh my
Xbox,
God.
handheld comes out. Then I'm getting that, and I think I'm good for a while.
We're never gonna see Fox again once this Xbox handheld
I'm
comes out.
telling
Like
you.
that's it.
I know.
God.
We'll be on a 3-month hiatus from our streams.
We'll have to have a new guest host every week.
Yeah. It's like, I'll become an Xbox bro. That'll be my thing.
What's
Oh.
on an Xbox? Who would have thought it?
I know. I know. All right, we're getting to the one other spicy
All right, let's
article.
Get the spiciness.
This is this comes from Games Radar, being pinned by Austin Wood. Funny last name related to this article. The first Descendant devs have important news for fans of the RPG shooter. A decision has been made to add the much requested jiggle physics, which we know why Stellar Blade sold so well. Let's be honest.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Right.
You're not wrong.
All right, so here's what he had to say. Apparently, this is was a member of the team, and he was looking at their Q&A on Discord, and he said, "I had a busy day, so I'm just now checking into the Q&A channel. I may not be able to check in infrequently tomorrow either, as I have a packed schedule starting early in the morning. However, I wanted to share some important news, so I decided to come online late tonight. After a lengthy discussion with the A&D today, a decision has been made to add the much requested, I love how the much requested jiggle physics. This was decided only a short while ago, so the details of when and how it will be implemented in the game are yet to be finalized and will be shared in future updates. I hope this will be a pleasant surprise for our dear successors who have been waiting for it, end quote. So,
Okay. Fox.
yes.
As a female, I've got to say,
Mhm.
okay, as long as they don't go overboard with it, it adds realism to it. 'Cause
Oh, no.
for me, when I'm
Oh,
playing a
God.
game and I'm like, she's running like, you know, a 50-meter sprint and like nothing is moving, that's not realistic. But if
Yeah.
they're doing like,
That's not why they're
Overexaggerated.
asking for it, Gigi.
I
That
know
is not.
this.
Not
I
even, they're
know.
not
They're
asking
not
for
like,
realism. That's for
we
sure.
need the realism.
Yes.
I know, but I'm trying to be PC about
Has,
this. Okay.
has
hang on.
anyone seen High School of the Dead? High School of the Dead.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Of course I have.
Yeah.
I personally
Encyclopedia
don't care.
over here. Yes.
Ken's been out. Like I was talking the past 2 weeks. Like
So-
I don't care if you're a sexy character. You're a sexy character, male, female, whatever.
Yeah.
I will
When-
drool.
When you talk about jiggle physics, that that takes it to a whole other level. Google
I
it or
mean-
watch one clip on YouTube.
I'll share it in the chat later.
Yes,
I just
there you go.
can't.
in the Twitter, yeah.
I just can't believe that they said that.
Oh, my
We're
goodness.
adding the much.
I can't
jiggle physics.
I can't hear that without laughing.
Yeah, no.
If
it's
someone says
hilarious.
jiggle physics, I start chuckling like a little kid.
Yeah.
Right on.
And it's not like they've added it and no one, and it's like, oh, it looks different. They're making an announcement.
Yes.
And I
Mhm.
feel
What?
I feel like it's also going to be like very obvious that the jiggle physics is in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Isn't that funny? Like for
Oh,
a
gosh.
while, like when Stellar Blade was being announced, there was like, oh, you can't, fat to this one, so you don't, you want to buy it, whatever. You remember when that was the thing? Now
Yeah.
they are
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately.
we're in it for the dude bros, because the dude bros are the ones are gonna get this game. I
They're
heard
just
First
trying to
Descendant
increase their
is really
sales,
good.
Fox. They're just trying to increase new
Yeah.
user.
I'm being facetious here. They are
If this is
good games, what I hear.
if this is something that was truly requested and the developers are giving people what they want, great.
Capitalism at work, baby.
Honestly, like this is how it should work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know, but Stellar Blade was awesome. Like when they started throwing a fit about that outfit,
Oh my
I
god.
was just like, that outfit looks badass. And then like I was like, what's wrong with it? And then I started seeing more and more of the outfit from like the front view and stuff. And I was just like, that's still cool. Like I would feel sexy playing as this character,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? But I know where everybody else is coming from. But for me, I was just like, more power to you. Don't let the man get you down.
I
Wear what you want.
Again, this may be
Wow.
another example where maybe we should not trust the consumer. Just
I,
saying.
I 1000% agree with you.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I think jiggle mechanics being added for the user is just a bit much.
Yeah. I wonder. Okay, so they have the numbers of how many copies are out there. I wonder what that Q&A looked like. It's like, was
Oh my
it
gosh.
relative? Like, was it super close to how many games are out there? Because if that's the case, holy crap, dude! Like, you go
Are
to
they-
Thirsty GL, go.
Yeah,
Are they
right.
applying this to all characters or just the female characters?
Probably. Oh,
Ooh.
what?
Go,
Are we talking about the
Vanoss, go.
sweatpants? The sweatpants for
Like,
guys.
like, can the guy characters make their pecs dance? You know, like
Yeah.
Huh.
Or, guy with a big beer belly just jiggling all
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I
that
want
was-
4K dad bod.
Yes.
Let's go.
A bear.
Yeah.
Let's get a teddy
that
bear.
would be
for there.
realistic.
Right on. Hey,
That'd be
Ken,
great.
how we doing on time?
Good. Keep going.
Okay. All right. So,
Where's Scotty?
oh shoot,
He's there. Oh no, wait.
No,
No, he's
I
not.
lost him.
Maybe you went to the bathroom?
maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, you know
Mm.
what? Give me one quick second. We're gonna discuss this a little bit further. I'm gonna go check on Scotty real quick. Yeah, he's out right now, but hopefully he'll be back. I know. Oh, there is.
I'm sure he will be.
Loki in chat said the conversation got too hot, and that's why he dipped out.
I mean, talk about
Great, thanks,
spicy.
Loki. Now,
He said he'll be back.
I'll
He might just be having issues, so he'll be back on.
Okay, right on.
LOL.
Yeah, way to go, Loki. Now all I'm hearing is that song. It's getting hot in here.
Oh yeah, Nelly.
Oh great! Now I'm gonna have that in
Yeah.
my head all week.
Yeah.
Hey, if I have to, you'd have to.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fair enough. So easy to get songs in my head.
Oh my
right about
gosh! When the Mike Tyson fight was happening, if Phil Collins. Oh, okay, that was absolutely hilarious. Like Jake Paul, he played Phil Collins in the air tonight while he was coming out. While he was coming out, I was like,
Now that's gonna be stuck in my head.
I don't want to like it, but that was a
know,
good choice.
That was a good one. Go on.
I'm back. Am I back?
I don't
Yes,
want
you
to
are.
associate.
Scotty!
I don't want to
Scotty.
associate Phil Collins with Jake Paul.
I know.
Sorry, guys. I was replying to the chat, and then
Mhm.
everything just crashed.
Oh.
I'm still experiencing it. I'm gonna turn my chat off. Lord Beerus, I'm sorry. I was replying to you, and then it started bugging out.
Oh shoot! Right on.
Also, it's his fault. And you're blaming him.
I was
Oh, it's not
beating
his
me
fault.
to it.
No.
As you should.
Let me check my CPU. Sorry, guys. Crack on. I'll sort.
Crack on,
Alright.
dude.
What's going on
I
there.
absolutely love the vernacular. Love it.
Like,
Yeah,
you
some
like
things
that?
I wish I
Crack
could say
on.
crack on to people, but
Yeah,
Just say that.
crack on.
well, it just doesn't sound the
Crack
same
Mm.
coming from
Yeah,
a
but on the other
Yeah.
side of the pond,
Uh-uh.
people get
Crack
offended
on.
by stuff like that. Like we don't have the same thing issue.
He said that.
That's the problem.
LOL.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. It's like right on, I guess. Like right on.
Oh, right on.
You know, like
Say,
Oh, yeah,
hold on, wait,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
Scotty, real quick. Say
Yeah.
say it again. Right on.
right on or right on.
Actually,
I
sounded
love it. Right on.
Scotty's the best.
Yeah,
on.
you sound better speaking in like an English accent or American accent than I do in an English accent, or British accent.
That's not true.
It
That's
is
not
true. It is.
You've been
very
watching
true.
Harry Potter. You're getting better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was so good.
Man.
It was really good though. God, I got to give it to him. Okay, so we're back up and going. We have an IGN article here who's been pinned by Wesley Yin Poole. Okay. And this is because oh god. Okay, let me. Whew. Xbox rumored handheld. Phil Spencer softly announced it. Goodness gracious. Real quick, Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer has confirmed the company's plan to release an Xbox handheld, but stressed it's years away from a release. In an interview with Bloomberg, Spencer said the quote expectation is that we would do something in the handheld game devices category. I know, but such a device is a few years out. Microsoft, Spencer said, is currently working on prototypes and considering what it might do, with its team developing its vision for a handheld based on what it learns from looking at the market. And I assume this has something to do with the article we read about them sending out surveys. It's like, oh, do you own a handheld?
Oh,
Do you like your
yeah,
handheld? How does it operate? Blah, 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 blah.
that was like a couple months ago, I think, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But okay, so my question for you would be, are you looking forward to an Xbox handheld? And should they make any more like consoles if they have this handheld out there? Because the manufacturing, they cut that down significantly with the handheld, and it has direct access to Game Pass. And I think you should be able to buy Xbox games on there too, not just access to Game Pass. It should work both ways.
Yeah.
I think with so many different entry points into their ecosystem now, there's less of an incentive for them to have a physical console.
Right on.
But I think I would still create one. Obviously, don't manufacture it in the same numbers that you have previously, because you're giving people so many different ways to play it on like a Fire Stick or on their phone or whatever. Anything that has access to the internet. You can play it on your Samsung fridge, probably. That'd be stupid.
Right on.
But I think there's room to have a physical console for your TV for the people that don't want to have to set up a PC for playing games and still want that centerpiece for their gaming experience, and also create a handheld or a certification for other handhelds to be classified as Microsoft Xbox ready.
Yeah.
You have a standard that says, okay, this, because there's so many different other competitors out there now with Asus, Nvidia, the Steam Deck as well. You can just say, okay, for you to be able to call yourself Microsoft Xbox or Xbox compliant, you have to abide by these standards. Your console has to have these specifications for you to be able to play everything, and then that way they're able to have a quote Xbox handheld without actually creating one, because they are late to the party.
Yes. Oh, very late.
Yeah, I've never understood Microsoft's timing. Never. And I'm not talking only in the in this decade. I mean, it's been all the way since the mobile frenzy, and I think even Bill Gates acknowledged this. He said that one of the greatest mistakes in the history of the company, in this case Microsoft, was that they never really got market share when it comes to mobile, and that they actually made mistakes because they had everything on a silver platter, and they never really capitalized on that opportunity. I think this is it's the same thing here with the handhelds. If you ask me, I think the Xbox One should have been a handheld. The Xbox brand would have been something else entirely, because they could have released the handheld. They would have anticipated the Switch. I'm pretty sure that they had all the resources to do this. The hardware, the contacts, perhaps even the expertise. I mean, Microsoft is a big company. They do have all of that at their disposal. So if they would have done that route, they would have anticipated the Switch. They would have really made an impact, because Sony was already giving up on the Vita, on the PS Vita. Nintendo was the one who actually proved all of them wrong, because they released the Switch and it became a phenomenon. So I think this is the same thing. This is another blunder, another classic. This is classic Microsoft. They are terrible at timing. They do have an opportunity. I think that they can do something interesting in this regard, but they really need to nail down the exclusives, because otherwise there's no value in purchasing, in getting one of these handhelds if you can play Game Pass on your mobile, or you can play it on even a previous console.
Very true.
So I think exclusivity is a key factor here. Those are my 2 cents.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, because we all know that exclusive games sell consoles, and it would make sense that if they get rid of consoles, exclusive games would sell these handhelds. Nonetheless,
do you still think so though?
I think that Xbox Game Pass might boost that'd be the reason I'd get it, I can take it anywhere. But go ahead. Sorry, Nas. Sorry.
I'm thinking in terms of like what Game Pass can offer to customers. Yeah, exclusives help, but when you have that many different developers under the Microsoft umbrella, they're a huge publisher now.
Yeah, the number one. I think they're number one publisher.
I mean, if Sony wants to have a crack at that, they're going to make their games available on Game Pass eventually as well.
Ooh.
Because they're just shooting themselves in the foot by only having things on their own platform.
Oh, dang, dude.
Which is why they made the jump to releasing their games on Steam.
Yes. Smart move. And what kind of pill? What size is that pill that they would have to swallow to be like, put their hat in their hand, or, take their hat off and say, Xbox, can we put our games on Game Pass?
I don't know the size of that pill, but I hope it's a suppository.
Oh my.
I'm sorry.
I love it. Oh,
That was a good one.
oh, Nas. Oh, that's not the only reason we keep you around, Nas, but it's up there. No, I'm just kidding. We love you, bud.
I'm still mad the Vita, basically got killed before it even began.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
They
I
just give
still
up.
have a Vita
Mhm.
and a PSP, actually.
Yeah. I had
PSP
the
was
PSP.
not bad. Yeah.
I loved it.
my PSP. I was so excited for the Vita. It was a
Yeah.
little disappointing, but mostly like it just didn't get games on it.
Right on. I'll
Yeah.
crap all over Kingdom Hearts real quick. So with the PSP, they had, I want to say, 2 God of War games on there. Chains
Yes.
of Olympus, which I played, was fantastic, and another one, but they didn't feed into the big story. It was just a
Yeah.
side
it
story.
wasn't
that you had-
canon.
It was like
It
these little
was
side
it was
stories.
canon, but it didn't have any effect on the whole the big story, right? It wasn't why
Right,
Hades went out of his mind and tried to kill Kratos or anything like that. But it was a nice pocket of game that didn't affect the whole story, right? That's
Yeah.
what I thought. That's what Kingdom Hearts was gonna do, and they completely like crapped all over me. You know,
Yeah, the PSP Kingdom Hearts game, Birth by Sleep 1, is one of my favorites in the franchise. That's
Right.
actually a really good one. And 2, it's one of the ones I was going to recommend you need to play before Kingdom Hearts 3 because that's the one Aqua's in.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
never had a PSP. I bought Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and then borrowed my friends. And I had that and the Final Fantasy Dissidia games. And I just borrowed my friend's PSP so I could play them because
That's
I wanted
awesome.
the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's smart. That's smart.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to play it on the bus going to high school my junior year. I was playing
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts on the bus.
That's dope.
So,
Aw,
Oh my goodness.
that's so great. Yeah, I
Uh,
love that.
One thing I want to mention, and Loki brought it up in chat, and it's something I'd read as
Oh.
well, is that Microsoft's not done with acquisitions.
Oh no.
They've
Yeah.
They said they're going to
No.
going after smaller ones, and PlayStation, I want to say they've said that too. They're still going after smaller size acquisitions.
Mhm.
We'll have to see what that does with their business. And
Because they can't afford anything after that 70 billion.
well, they're just shifting assets around, really.
Yeah.
But
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
one of an article that I read had speculated that the companies that they may have their sights set on are Square Enix
Oh
and
shoot.
Sega.
Oh,
Oh my god. But do you
It's speculation.
do you remember when
there you go. Wouldn't surprise me though.
what was it? It was the
I thought
FTC.
Nintendo had Sega.
Oh,
No,
wouldn't that be
Sega.
something?
Sega's their own thing. I think they're still.
It's
They
their
didn't,
own.
yeah,
Okay,
they
I wasn't
didn't.
sure.
Anyway, but I want to say Xbox with the FTC, and it came out that they were looking at buying Nintendo. Do you remember that? He had said that in closed doors, behind closed doors. Phil Spencer was like, "I think we can make a play for Nintendo." Nintendo.
What dream
I
world
know.
was he in?
Nintendo had to come out and was like, "No, we're not selling our company to anybody." It's
Yeah.
like-
And
He's
what's
talking about
wrong
like
with you?
I know.
Is he talking about like a theater play? Because I believe that more than them actually buying Nintendo.
100%. It's like, dude, you're looking. No, absolutely not. And that's
That'd
what
be a nightmare scenario.
100% for one. And two, I was like, dude, I can't believe you are smelling yourself that much that you think that you could pick up Nintendo. You're out of your mind. Square
Right,
Enix,
right.
yes, 100% yes. They'll just like, please buy us.
Nintendo would buy Xbox before Xbox could ever dream of seriously buying Nintendo.
Right. I mean, well, with Nintendo, I don't know if they have that much money for one.
Yeah,
I
they haven't
know,
got
but I'm just
Microsoft back
saying,
in.
like Nintendo is going to be around. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
they've got
It'll be-
longevity.
you know, Keith Richards, the cockroaches, and Nintendo.
Right on. Right
Well,
on.
the only thing that'll kill Nintendo is an extended period of poor leadership.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I
well.
think.
And actually, there was I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a huge rumor. It was, I don't know,
We skipped this
15 years ago, something like that,
Mhm.
where Microsoft actually approached Nintendo right before the GameCube's launch. The reason for that was Microsoft was getting ready for the original Xbox.
Mhm.
They went to Nintendo's office, and the only thing they actually proposed, again, all of this is rumor and speculation, where apparently they put an offer to buy Nintendo on the table. And Nintendo said no. The negotiations kept going. And that's when Microsoft got Rare as some sort of consolation prize.
Oh shoot! Right on.
Oh,
yeah,
It actually makes sense.
Right on.
That's where what's that game? Not Bandicoot. Is it No, what? Not
Banjo and
Bandicoot. What was it?
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo
Banjo.
Kazooie.
That's it.
Yeah,
Banjo, Think, Kill Instinct, Perfect Dark. I think they were all on the Rare, weren't they?
Oh yeah, Killer Instinct for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, Rare was a powerhouse back in those days.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it had
Mhm.
Killer Instinct.
It was-
had
it was-
Killer Instinct. It had
Yeah.
GoldenEye,
Mhm.
Banjo-Kazooie,
Yeah.
Perfect
Yes.
Dark,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
The Donkey Kong Country series, I think, was also Rare, wasn't it? Or was
Yeah,
that
it was.
someone else?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right on. Goodness gracious. All right.
Good times. Wow.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip right into the spiciest of the spices. We have this article from
Here we
Vice.
go.
Yeah, this
Let's do it. Buckle up.
Absolutely.
Oh, that one.
Yes. That one.
That one.
So you can almost smell the desperation. They're trying to kind of it's like The Office. It's like, so exactly what do you do here?
What would you
it's-
say you do here?
Exactly. So it's like that. So this guy, he's doing a horrible job. But I honestly don't care what kind of user reviews he's come at. So he acts like Amazon doesn't exist, Walmart doesn't exist, where they have user reviews and people actually make their decisions based on what people say about it. You know what I mean?
Well, those ones don't affect him.
Exactly. Yes, but the ones on Metacritic do. The ones on some of these review websites do. So now his chonies are all in a bunch. So, but I ask you, do we need games journalists, especially since it feels like they're making games for devs and not customers?
Yeah, for the lols.
This is a law, Cal. Yeah, this is one of those. Yes.
I don't know. Like, I can understand
Mhm.
like, reviews like here's the gameplay, here's the mechanics, here's what we thought.
Mhm.
The problem is that too many game journalists right now are offering opinion or bias on games, on developers, on consoles and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
But they're trashing like content creators. But for me, like, I'm gonna go to another gamer and see what they think of the game, especially if
100%,
they
yeah.
have same tastes
100%.
as me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And before I'll listen to a journalist,
Right. And that's that's one
and,
of the
and they're
things that
trashing.
yeah. Go
They're
ahead. Sorry.
trashing us, for having these discussions.
Mhm.
They're trashing us. You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
we talk about how we don't like a mechanic in a game, or we're laughing and discussing how they're putting jiggle mechanics in something for all the right reasons,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, realism, right?
Yeah.
Realism.
So, yes, we want realism, not sex. No,
Realism.
just kidding.
Hilarious.
But they don't understand. Like, they're mad because they're losing their jobs, I feel like.
Oh, that's-
the
yeah.
thing. Like, oh, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to end up on YouTube having to do this by myself. Like,
Well, because
I'm
some of
gonna
them
go- I'm
can't make
gonna
that jump.
I know, but I'm gonna ask, you guys, hey, what'd you think of this game? And get my opinions from you before I'm gonna trust a review.
100%. Because
Yeah.
we've seen this time and time again where they'll trash a game and totally over, ideological or opinionated things, not dealing with the mechanics, how the game plays, or anything like that. It's surface level crap. And then, raise up games like Concord because it agrees with their politics and whatnot. It's like, take politics out of it altogether. I play
Yeah.
video games to
100%.
escape this garbage. Stop!
Yeah.
Don't put your peanut butter in my chocolate, okay? Get it out of here.
I
Get it
know,
outta here.
100%.
But man, that combination tastes great, though.
It does.
I know.
No, that is good.
It does taste great. We do like it.
So
But
good.
we want it from Reese's, not from you. No, I'm just kidding.
It's freaking hilarious.
I mean, for some, like, I understand the point that this guy's trying. Well, hang on. let me restart this. I get where he's coming from,
yeah,
There you go.
but you couldn't have done a worse job, man.
yeah.
This
Who
article,
hurt this guy?
Yeah, I know.
Like-
I read it and I was like, who hurt you?
he did. Him and his peers hurt themselves.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
It's like
mean-
it's like a Pokemon. They hurt themselves in their confusion.
I mean, yeah, we can just for
See, I
ourselves
can
as
make a
gamers.
Pokemon reference.
Deep cuts with Nas. Love it.
I don't know.
We can
I
just-
feel like his ex is on YouTube doing reviews and making money off of it.
And that'd
be
And they
hilarious.
broke up, and now he's on a
LOL.
rage.
All right.
Well,
Okay,
maybe
I
we
choose.
should go
I
into
choose
this.
you, Scotty. Scotty, go.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
going to
Scotty.
say, because like times have changed now, right? So
Mhm.
back in the day where we didn't have the internet, we would rely on journalism because it was the
Wow.
booklets you got, the magazines you get. this day and age, we do the eye test, right? We can see it on YouTube, we can see gameplays. If we're lucky enough, we'll get a demo, and then we judge it for ourselves.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think you might need journalism, I guess, for some things, but in terms of gameplay mechanics and stuff, we can test it ourselves.
Yeah.
Plus word of mouth, right? As you said,
Yeah.
fellow gamers can discuss things now.
Yeah, and you
So,
make
yeah,
up a
time to change.
freaking fantastic point. Like, there used to be a barrier of entry for this kind of thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Now you can be in your bedroom with a camera and a mic and say whatever you want, and people can resonate with that. So and do better than a lot of these journalists are. So they might be butthurt about that. Sure, fine. You know, your job is being eroded, but that just means, you know, do a better job. Listen to the people who you're talking to that were fans of your, you know, your magazines or whatever, and make significant changes to go that way. Because if you don't, that's when you start, you know, losing
And here's
your
the big
job.
problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, and here's the big problem with these quote unquote professional games journalists is they, for some reason, they joined the gaming industry. They were hired. They used to work for another media outlet, perhaps even not even talking about games. But anyway, they joined the gaming industry. And the problem with that is that they started to add all these layers of complexity to games journalism, in the sense that suddenly you see articles where these journalists are so narcissistic that they only talk about how this game changed me as a person. And I don't think that's the best way to talk to gamers. Gamers want to know about mechanics, about the type of characters they will be playing as. They want to know about the game. They don't care about how this particular game made you feel. Perhaps you could add it as a corollary, but that's it.
Fox,
Oh, you got to mute
I
Fox.
can hear you, bud.
Oh no, you're good. I have my daughter in here, and she's she's the middleman to my wife right now.
Okay. But yeah, I agree with you, George. You know, I want opinions from people that I know. Like, if me and Ken are playing the same type of games, I'm gonna be like, hey, what do you think of this game? What do you think of this? And I'll get the mechanics of it, and then I'll be like, what did you think of the story? And you know, I'm gonna take that, but not from, I don't want the journalist to be like, well, I felt this, and this, and it evoked these emotions, and then it reminded me of something that happened when I was 7. Like, I don't care.
It's lame and boring.
Yeah. I think you can use like a bunch of different sources to form an opinion. I think you can go to journalism. I think you can go to your friends. I think you can go to the internet. You can weigh them all how you think would be best personally. But
Exactly.
just to set all the content creators on fire is a choice. And this guy made that choice.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I remember I have a lot of thoughts about this article.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to us.
And what's that?
I said, give it to us.
Okay,
Give it.
well, all right, sure. We'll just go right into it. First of all, he says that the Veilguard is the latest, quote, DEI game to be subjected to criticism with zero bearing on the actual gameplay itself. That's wrong. That is
100%.
demonstrably false.
Mhm.
I watched a couple of reviews just to get a sense, because I had no interest in playing this game. I played Dragon Age Origins. Loved it. Absolutely loved that game. But Mr. Matty Plays and Skill Up both had reviews of this game based on actual gameplay, which I don't even know if this guy played the game.
Mm.
Yeah.
And a lot of their criticism was around like the narrative, the gameplay being boring. It had nothing to do with what was shoehorned and inserted into this game. Saying that saying that the criticism has no bearing on the gameplay itself shows either he didn't do any research or not enough research, or is just not willing to acknowledge it. It's disingenuous, and this is the problem. I don't have any reason to believe this guy throughout the rest of the article. If this is what he's starting it off with, get out of here, man.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Right on.
We should check what else he's written.
Oh, he cites some of his own other articles as well.
That's great.
If you click on,
I didn't click any of the hyperlinks.
You're probably better off, to be honest with you.
100%. Yeah.
But there's one where he's talking about subjected to criticism, and he's talking about translating what people are saying versus what somebody actually believes that they mean. Like if somebody says the game doesn't feel like Dragon Age, it actually means I can't move on from Origins.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with that one. Origins created this world that a lot of people fell in love with. The atmosphere, the tone, which was very, very grounded for a fantasy, grimdark fantasy game. You look at the trailers for Veilguard, and it doesn't feel like the same thing. It feels like something else completely, but you're still
Fortnite.
calling it Dragon Age.
Fortnite RPG, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of the things. Like the game looks like Fortnite was one of the other quotes. It says, and that means people just only watch the reveal trailer. Listen, reveal trailers are there to gauge, for audience members to gauge their interest, whether or not they are interested in the game. If I don't like the trailer, I'm not gonna buy the game.
Yeah.
You're saying, well, oh, it's only the trailer. That's the trailer's job. The trailer's job is to get you interested and hyped for a game. If it didn't do that, it failed.
It failed.
Yeah.
Right. 100%.
I want to see the trailers and the cinematics. I think it's awesome, but I also need to see some gameplay footage too, like actual gameplay footage in that trailer as well, because I've been burned too many times, guys.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I mean, a lot of people have. That's why they don't want to. I mean, you want to wait. This is what makes people wait. This is what turns people into patient customers, patient gamers, patient moviegoers. They'll wait.
That's why us content creators have followings, because like people come to us to see what we're saying and what we're doing, and if they like the game. Like I can go to Scotty's channel and be like, oh yeah, I want to play this, or to Fox's. Like when I wanted Wukong day one, couldn't afford it, but I was just like, well, what if I'm not into it? What if I don't want to play it that much? And I'll watch Fox and I'm like, I need this game,
And it's not just a willy-nilly like, oh, I'll buy the game if I don't like it, whatever. When the games are $80,
yes,
we are shopping. We're shopping for games, but we are shopping for opinions in order to decide
Also,
whether or not we want to make the investment.
You're right, Ken.
Exactly.
And that's that effect. This is an RPG. Are you really going to get into it in only 2 hours? Because that's the window a lot of times for whether or not you can qualify for a refund. 2 hours is not a lot for an RPG. You're not really going to get a good sense. And some of the stuff that would really turn you off as a gamer, you're not going to find in the first 2 hours. Sometimes you will. Sometimes you can just, like with me, I've always got my radar going. And if I see something I don't like and it continues that way, I'll be like, no, I'm out. I don't want to waste my time on this. But some people are a bit more forgiving than I am, I guess, and will wait to see if it develops in a way that's enjoyable and fun and a good experience. Only to be disappointed later on.
Right. And going to the generational aspect of gaming, it's the same thing with Dragon Age Origins. Many gamers who played Dragon Origins back in the day, perhaps now they've become parents and their kids have grown up. And if they see this Dragon Age as a parent, that is not really resonating because it feels different, it plays different, it has a completely different tone. What BioWare is doing is that they break this generational chain, because they are no longer satisfying the expectation of the original consumer, which in case was the parent, and now the kid has no connection to Dragon Age because the parent is not going to go and play that game. So that generational change gets broken. It's terrible for business.
And that's somehow your fault as a consumer.
Yeah.
Because you don't
it's
like
always
it.
our fault.
And not to mention, like, it's kind of like Rocksteady. There's nothing there from old to any resemblance of what it once was. Everybody's gone.
There's a graveyard of franchises that this has happened to.
Yeah.
Like Star Trek, Star Wars,
Yeah.
He-Man. I mean,
Yes.
those are just three I've named off the top of my head. And I'm sure you guys could all name a couple on your own.
Yep. In name only type stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yes.
But this article is just crying over the fact that people aren't listening to them anymore because their articles are disingenuous nonsense.
Yeah.
Now, something important about this is, and we started this conversation, you guys were really kind. You were asking me how to grow on X. And I think we're talking about social media here. And these professional, again, quote unquote, professional games journalists, the way that they write their articles is like they are in some sort of gold tower or the aloofness is there. I mean, they don't have any contact with the audience.
Mhm.
They are not making friends with gamers. They only want to establish themselves as some sort of authority,
Yes.
but it doesn't feel authentic. So with gamers, for example, with you guys, I come here, I talk to you, I know you, we're talking about games. We are gamers, we live the hobby.
Mhm.
And these guys do not interact with their audience. They don't go and ask questions. They don't reply. If you have a different opinion to them, they don't go and think about it.
100%.
It's just, I'm just a
Yeah.
journalist. I'm
Well-
sacred, and you are the gamer. That doesn't work. That doesn't establish a connection.
right.
If they can take your reply and spin an article out of it, then they'll listen to you.
This is
But
true.
Right.
You're right. They're in
Content
their own
is
echo
king.
chamber.
That's
yeah,
right.
they've gone from
Yeah.
being like the tastemakers of the gaming world
Mhm.
to now crying that somebody else is eating their lunch. I mean, I can't imagine it's a fun position to be in, but you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put a little.
You have to make
Brooklyn
friends
on
with
the end
your
of that.
audience.
Yeah.
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 You don't have to
And-
make
and
friends. You don't have to make friends with your audience, but you got to represent the majority of them.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Thanks for
but I
rephrasing
feel
that,
like
yeah.
he meant like you've got to get in touch with your audience. You got to listen to them and go back and forth, not just.
No, I
and it
decide what
happens.
people will play. I decide what people will enjoy. If anybody disagrees with me, then they're just toxic.
That's
Yes.
They're
not,
a vocal
yeah,
minority.
it's not it. Yeah.
A vocal
But-
minority that
but
killed
that's like
Embracer Group. That's
Right.
killing
Love
Ubisoft.
Right.
Friggin'
Yeah.
don't
But
don't.
it's like with Fox.
Yeah.
He's changed opinions after talking to all of us
Oh yeah.
on stream
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, and vice versa. So it's like,
Mhm.
you know, when you're interacting, when you're having a discussion, instead
Mhm.
of just being like, you need to listen to this and my word is scripture.
Yeah.
You know?
You lose a lot of people when you do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Okay, so I'm being summoned. I am so sorry to cut you off. I'm being summoned
It's
by my
okay.
wife. We have a birthday party to go through and some things to do after that. We're gonna skip. Everything was freaking amazing. You guys did freaking fantastic. Thank you, Yorch Torch Games, for coming up.
Woo!
You know, it was
Yes.
absolutely
We
amazing.
We hope you
Thank
come
you.
back.
Yes.
It was really great
Come
having
back.
you on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good having you, man.
Oh yeah. It was.
Oh,
So
thank you.
nice.
Really appreciate it. Had a blast. Again, I feel honored for being with you. You have an amazing channel, and yeah, definitely. If the invite is there, I'll definitely come back. Thank
Right
you.
on.
Awesome.
Right on. Yep. That
Oh.
invitation is always extended to you. It's
Absolutely.
You stream
Fantastic.
on Twitter as well. I don't think we mentioned that earlier.
oh
But I
Yes.
caught one of your streams earlier this week.
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
he's at
Right on.
Tinkerer George
yeah.
on X. It's awesome.
Good
Cool.
deal. So we're
Go
gonna
ahead.
skip to what games are we playing? We're gonna follow after this. I know, right? What games are we playing, GG? I know you're doing.
I'm doing Zero Dawn right now.
Gotcha. Right on. Right on.
And I'm gonna just be busy the next like several weeks. So
Yes, buying a house.
We'll
yes.
see. We'll see what. No, I bought the house. I
Oh,
actually
nice.
have a house.
Oh well, moving
The house is
into
mine.
it. Right on.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the fun part.
Yes.
Yes.
The house is mine.
I will.
That
Yes.
house is mine. Okay.
That's right. Oh my god. I would listen to you sing the phone book.
Them pipes.
Stop it. All right.
I'm not gonna stop it. You need a blush bomb.
We're gonna have to do Christmas carols now.
You might not see it,
Not
but
yet though.
my cheeks will get a little warm. They get a
Oh,
little
there
warm,
you go.
but you can't see it. That's the only drawback. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Don't go Mike Tyson on us.
Oh, too soon.
Oh man.
Sorry.
It was truly painful to watch. Nas, what gamers are you playing right now? I know you.
Oh,
you
jeez.
I know.
This is always a long list.
It's like how much time you got?
Okay, I'll go in order of most recent
Mm.
to. So I played Onakura, which is
Mm-hmm.
a really freaking hard 2D boss rush game. I
Mm-hmm.
recommend checking that out. It is what you see is what you get as far as the game goes. It doesn't bog you down with dialogue.
Mhm.
I also checked out Tiny Terraces. I started playing Yakuza 0 yesterday on stream because I just
Ooh.
I gotta go to that.
love that game.
Mhm.
Spirit Mancer I was also checking out. That's the one that was a 2D side scroller that has a dating sim in it, which I wasn't expecting. Sure. Obvermage Plentiful.
Mhm.
He was a former technical director of Rockstar North during like the golden age of GTA games.
Okay.
He made a
Nice.
game that is the furthest thing from GTA, but it's very relaxing. So if you're looking for a real cozy game, check out the Plentiful demo.
Okay.
And Rise
Literally
of the Golden
writing
Idol,
that down.
yeah, it's so soothing, and it's one of those games where you can just have it on in the background. It's very low stakes.
Oh, that's dope. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay.
What else? Sorry, that's a long list. I was checking out Ethos again. I was trying to get into the play testing for that game because I really like it. It's a survival base building game.
Okay.
Really neat, and it's solo developed actually too by I don't know, I don't remember his name. Him and his dog. I don't think his dog really has much to do with the development, but
that's not the mouse one, is it?
no,
Okay.
that's Winter Burrow. No,
that looks so-
that's something else.
That one's
Ethos,
another chill game.
Yeah,
Yep.
and of course Mega Man X5, which I still have to get to the third ending, and then I'm going to take a break from that
Jeez, man.
franchise for a bit.
Right on. Absolute Rolodex of games. Holy crap! How do you get anything done,
I know.
Ken?
Very, very tight time management, I guess.
Right on. Right on. All right, Ken. What games are you
I
playing?
am playing Final Fantasy 3.
That's right.
Oh, right on.
The quest going backwards continues. So I'm 2 sessions into 3.
Mhm.
I had like a love-hate relationship with 5, and 4 and 3 so far are playing better than 5 did, which
Very
I think is a hot take, but I play something in 3 and they give me an element that they like took out in 5, and I'm just like, 5, what are you doing? So
Oh,
I'm enjoying 3, but it's reminding me how angry I am at Final Fantasy 5. But it's good. Yeah, and I'm going back and forth. I'm playing it on stream.
Mhm.
I'm going back and forth between the original music and the orchestrated music. I'm doing comments on both, so it's also a nice little like musical dialogue as well.
Very cool. It's like those
Ooh.
YouTube's flute player critiques or watches flute video or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like that.
I guess
sorry.
so.
I'm an idiot.
I have a channel redeem for like channel points where if they redeem it, I'll switch the soundtrack.
Okay.
So we're going back and forth at like kind of a random pace, but it's been fun. Nobuo Uematsu is the GOAT, so it's cool listening to a lot of his different stuff.
Right on. Absolutely
him
dope.
and Yasunori Mitsuda are my two favorite. Yeah.
Right on. All right, Scotty Boozy.
Yes, sir. Judgment. I started playing it again today.
Right on.
The game
Nice,
which
nice.
is in the Yakuza universe,
Mhm.
and Killer Instinct.
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
gonna be playing that again. Gonna get some content out again next week as well.
Very cool.
Getting a bit behind. Life takes over, but
Mhm.
yeah, let's get back on it.
Yep. All right. Yorch Torch.
Yeah, to commemorate its 20th anniversary, I'm playing Half-Life 2, which, by the way, you can get for free right now over at Steam. Fantastic game. I mean, it's one of the best first-person shooters ever made. And just a call out, well, just a tiny heads up here. I really recommend. Well, Valve yesterday they published a documentary to commemorate the Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary.
Mhm.
I highly recommend you guys watching that documentary. It even sheds some light on Half-Life 2 Episode 3. So highly recommend. I really recommend you that documentary. It's 2 hours long,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of meat in it.
Gotcha.
So that is one thing. Well, that's one game. And the second game that I'm also playing is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I fell in love with the first one. I played it on the Switch. And the sequel right now, I mean, I've only 20 minutes into that game,
Mhm.
but it's just fascinating. It's beautiful, great world building.
Mhm.
The soundtrack is amazing. So yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Right on. I'm still trying to get through freaking Black Myth whenever I find some time, which is not at all anymore. So
You gotta work. You gotta work from home, Fox. That's how you have time to play all these games. But
yeah, I'm like I'm out
Oh
of
my
town
God.
like 3 or 4 days out of the week, and then when I get home, it's dishes and laundry and changing butts and all that good stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
whenever I get a chance, I'll sneak up, and my wife is like, "Why are you always leaving me?" It's like I'm not. I'm just upstairs.
I know.
So
I'm
if
not,
you do,
I'm not gonna lie. The week before my son was born, like I'm playing my PSP,
Mhm.
and I actually like just started crying, and I was like, I'm gonna have to give up video games. I'll never be able to play again, and like I had like this major crisis.
Yes.
Like, the last week,
it's like that.
and yeah, it was hard to play games when he was younger, and
Mhm.
the older kids were younger and everything.
Mhm.
yeah, work and parenthood
Yes.
Mhm.
takes a
What
lot
I'm
of your game time away.
what I might have to do is just stop with the content mindset and
Mhm.
just play it, and
Maybe, yeah.
not worry about it being on Steam or YouTube or whatever. Just play it and then enjoy myself.
Exactly.
Have
Yeah.
a coffee.
Yeah.
I've had that
Mhm.
where I really want to continue playing a game, and I'm like, I have to wait until I streamed it. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was also playing Sulfur. How did I forget
Oh,
about that
that's
one?
right. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
You said it's surprisingly hard, right?
Wednesday night was great.
Yeah. Oh man,
Watching
that
you play.
game.
Oh man,
That game is funny.
those NPCs.
Those NPCs are so interesting. Like this is an indie game, but
Yeah,
it's so
They're so
good.
sassy. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
great.
That's
It's
hilarious.
Yeah.
refreshing.
How could I forget about that one? Oh man.
Right on. Okay. Do we have anything else? Anything?
Not right now. I know the Golden Joystick Awards are coming up on the 21st.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
And I think those are at night, I think. Oh no, wait, it's early in the morning, but it'll be on Twitch, YouTube, X, stuff
Okay.
like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
anybody that wants to watch that can. And then we've got the
How you guys feeling about that?
the Game Awards coming up.
It
Like the
depends.
game. I
It
don't,
depends.
I don't
Um,
trust them.
Right. It depends.
I have trust issue with awards, but yeah,
It's all for fun.
yeah.
It's all for fun. Like,
I do like
win,
watching it.
lose. It's cool. It's good seeing a spotlight on games,
Mhm.
I think, in
Yeah.
this regard. Especially
Yeah.
the Game Awards. Like, that's a really big thing.
Yep.
Do the awards matter? Pish posh.
Pish
It's
posh.
a good opportunity,
Yeah.
I think.
I
Yeah.
like it because sometimes I'll miss something, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I'll see something on the awards, and I'm like, oh, I need to check that out.
Right on. Okay. I'm gonna wrap up real quick. I'm being summoned again. There's a
All right, guys.
rapping at the door.
Have a wonderful weekend, Ken. It was great to have you back.
Yes.
George, I hope you come back again
Yep.
soon.
100%.
Definitely. Thank you all.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah, thanks,
Okay.
guys.
All right. I'll
Have a good one.
see you guys on the
Have
other
a good
side.
one, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Right on. 100% thank you to the panel. Thank you to our special guest, George Torch Games. You can find him on X. And for the rest of the panel, they'll be in the description. You can find them on their preferred platforms, X, Twitch, and YouTube. All great content, obviously. Obviously, if you watch the live stream, you know they've got good content. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You have a whole Rolodex of our videos that you can go through. Anyway, woke up at 5 this morning. If you did show up and you didn't, comment or anything, thank you for showing up anyway. Really appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm and all that jazz. And it would be no reason to get up that early without you tuning in. So thank you. You can catch us next Saturday. Same time. But until then, keep it casual. Peace.